Good morning once again. We have Dr. Mary online, and we have a team from UFAAS. So could we kindly have Madam Adeline leading the session?
Thank you very much, Samuel. I don't know whether you're hearing the echo.
Yes, there is an echo on your side. Mute one of your devices.
Samuel, is it much better now?
It is. You're clear now.
Okay.
Yes.
You're all very welcome to our very eventful meeting. I don't want to call it a meeting because it's a very important event when we are announcing the finalists of the UFAAS Hackathon 2021. On behalf of UFAAS, we want to appreciate each one of us who has been able to participate in this hackathon. And before I go any further, I would request that we first introduce ourselves. If possible, please have your cameras on so that we can know those who have come to participate in the final event. And we will call it final for now, but it's really not the final because we have awards to make. So the next event will definitely be an award event. So I will request that we introduce, just switch on the cameras. I know turn for a brief moment and we see one another in for the final with the contestants, please. Thank you very much. We don't have to go in any order. We can start with maybe Andrea, please.
Hello everyone. Yeah, my name is Andrew Mamawi from Team Butterscotch. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you, and so that we are able to know who we are talking to, which team this person belongs to. Thank you. And Andrea, you belong to which team?
Yes, apologies. I thought I'd mentioned that. I'm on Team Butterscotch. I think my colleague will be joining us shortly, probably later.
Okay.
Thank you, Andrea. Then we have the next, please. I don't want to call out names. Kindly just introduce yourselves. Thank you.
George Morris.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning,
Robert.
I'm Robert Rutagura, part of the facilitators.
Okay.
Oh, great. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Samuel Mainda, facilitators from UFAAS.
Thank you. Thank you, Samuel. Okay, let me call out names. Joseph, please introduce yourself.
Yes, good morning, guys. So from FGD services. Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Joseph, you're welcome. We'll have Ivan Guma, please.
Thank you.
Good morning. This is Joseph Mato from Team Agro 8. Nice to meet you all.
Nice meeting you. Then we have Benjamin Kello.
Yes, good morning, everyone.
Yes.
Ivan Guma from Team Auto Farm. It's great to meet everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Ivan.
Yes, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, Okello, Benjamin.
This is Benjamin Okello. I'm from Team Auto Farm UG.
Wow,
Nice to
great.
see you.
Benjamin, we didn't see your face.
I'm not in a very good position to turn on the camera.
Okay,
Pardon.
I understand. Great. Then we have we've had Christine. Christine, please. Christine. As Christine comes on, let's have Isaac.
Isaac is me, Isaac Balintuma. Part of the Agro Aid app.
Okay. Nice
Thank
to see
you.
Isaac.
Nice to see you. Yes, we have some of these are facilitators like George Serwada. George, you're welcome on board to introduce yourself.
Thank you. This is George, facilitating on behalf of UFAAS.
Thank you, George. We have, I don't want to first call out the judge. George Morris, did we hear from George Morris?
Not yet.
Please, George Morris.
Good morning, everyone.
You're muted.
Good morning, George.
By the name George Morris, Kong, and I'm currently at Makerere, my final year. I'm doing Bachelor of Information System and Technology, and my group is Micro and Space Management System. I'm glad to be here.
Glad
Thank
to see
you. Glad to see you. Who else has not been introduced? Christine, we didn't hear you. Introduce yourself. Okay, we go to Joseph as Christine comes along. I think Joseph already introduced himself, not so?
We have Okello.
Okello,
Oh,
okay.
Yes, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I appreciate you for the participation in this.
And we lost him.
Race. So I'm Okelo Joel Tishbet.
Thank you, Joel. Your internet was very unstable, or maybe it was mine. But you're all again very welcome to this event of the final announcement of the winners. Before I go further, I want to request, I'll introduce myself. My name's Adeline Muhebwa, and I'm the vice chairperson of UFAAS. UFAAS is Uganda Forum for Agriculture Advisory Services. And this event is part of this exercise that we have done, that is the hackathon, is part of the broader event or conference that is going to take place in November under the Africa-wide Agriculture Extension Week. So these are just events towards that, and we are going to give them very high profile. This is the first time our first Extension Week is in Uganda. So we have some events that are happening before that will lead us to the final Extension Week. And we are happy that you were part of this. Very exciting. I know it was exciting, I think very committing, demanding. I don't know the part of the time and a part of the technology innovation, but we are happy that you made it. You made it and you were part of the team. Before we introduce our judge, I will request that Samuel first goes through with us the program for the day.
Okay.
Samuel, please first give us a brief agenda for the day, and then we can introduce the judge. I don't know whether the other judges will be online, and then we can proceed with this event. Thank you, Samuel.
You're welcome, Adeline. Thank you, Adeline. Now, we have two judges today online. And the main communication is going to come from Dr. Mary Savagwa. So going through today's program, it's pretty brief. We shall be having remarks from you, the first team, and then followed by remarks from the lead judge, that is Dr. Mary, and then that will be followed by announcement of finalists. And we shall close with remarks from UFAAS, and until we wait for further action.
Thank you very much, Samuel.
You're welcome.
Yes, so maybe we need now to move to introduction of the judges, and I'll request that I share the screen. I'm unable to share the screen. I think I don't have the rights.
Okay, just shortly. You can share now.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so so this is the so we are again welcoming you to this final event of the hackathon, where we give the announcements for the awards, the award winners, and those that participated in the contesting for this UFAAS hackathon. And just a minute, I want to. Who is not muting?
It's Benjamin. It's okay.
Okay, Benjamin. Okay, just a minute. I'm just trying to share this. I'm failing to put it in the what? In the sharing mode, in the
full screen.
Full screen sharing. I don't know why. Okay, but anyway, we can move the
click at the bottom near the zooming option. Click on that.
Thank you.
On the screen icon.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah, I think now we can all see it.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, now we are moving agricultural extension and advisory services to another level with digital tools. As you were aware, we had the themes of the hackathon were basically three of them: the management of agriculture extension and advisory services, actors, database, and activities. We had the second theme as the database of climate smart agriculture techniques, approaches, and knowledge. Then we had another theme, which was meteorological and weather information for agriculture extension and advisory services. The timeline was from 4th to 7th October 2021, but this was flexed because we had some late submissions. So we took it to announcing the results today. So we again want to thank you for participating in this hackathon, and we want to again inform you that this is part of the broader continental hackathon. This is happening in different countries, and it will be recognized at the Africa-wide Agriculture Extension Week. So we want to thank very much the judges who accepted to be part of this as well. And I will start with the introduction of the main judge who graciously accepted to be part of this. And this is none other than Dr. Mary Savagwa. Just a brief about Mary's profile. Mary is a PhD holder with Makerere University, and also holds a Master of Engineering in Computer Science and Technology from Hunan University, People's Republic of China. Mary has specialized in wireless senior networks and embedded systems, and has worked in several embedded systems projects since 2013. Mary has been involved in agriculture-related research projects and contributed to software projects, including the Weather Information Dissemination System and development of a customized automatic weather station used by the Uganda National Meteorological Authority and the WIME ICT project. More about Mary. I don't know, it doesn't move. So Mary has participated in that project and sought to improve, has also participated in improved food security projects in Uganda, funded by Government of Uganda under the Research and Innovation Fund, Makerere University. She is also a co-principal investigator on a NORAD-funded project seeking to provide ICT solutions for entomologists. Mary has a wide range of experience in these digital agriculture systems, and we appreciate Mary for having spared her time and accepted to be the lead judge for this UFAAS hackathon. You'll be hearing more about Mary when she is making the overview and the final judgment for the hackathon. Mary has also been involved in other development web applications, most of which are open source platforms. Mary, UFAAS, on behalf of UFAAS, we are greatly appreciated your support in this and your technical expertise that you brought on board during this UFAAS hackathon. Other judges included Timothy Chibirigwe, who is currently a database and applications, I think, engineer at Matra Technologies Limited. He also leads DB and applications team at Kimtech Design Limited. He has worked on a number of software development related projects, including ERP solutions for a veterinary medicine distribution company in Burundi and DRC, data warehousing and business intelligence solutions, as well as banking solutions. He has also worked on the UFAAS membership database under DoStream Limited. Timothy is an OCP certified Oracle DBA with over 8 years experience in IT and possesses a bachelor's degree in computer science from Makerere University. Timothy, we appreciate your commitment to having been on board to assist with the judgments that we are going to announce today. Another person that was on the team of judges was Willie Ofono Osinde, who was giving the eye of the practicability and sustainability of this software. Willie has been a district agriculture officer in Bujiri in those years. He has also been center manager, Tororo District Agriculture Training and Information Center. Willie was the district production and marketing officer, Budaka. He was also the zonal NADS coordinator, Buginyanya Zadi. This is Zonal Agricultural Research Development Institution under NARO. Then we have he was also district production and marketing officer in Budaka, as well as to date, he's the commissioner, technology development, Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation. Willie, we appreciate your participation in this UFAAS hackathon, and we appreciate your time and the expertise you've brought on board. We also had on the team of judges, different people, and this one is Angela Namyenya, and she is the Senior Agriculture Extension Skills Management Officer in the Directorate of Agriculture Extension Services at the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries. She possesses 10 years of experience in farm planning and agriculture extension service delivery. Angela holds a PhD in agriculture sciences, that is agriculture economics, bioeconomy and rural development from the University of Hohenheim, Germany. She also holds an MSc in agriculture and applied economics and a BSc agriculture, both from Makerere University. Angela specializes in analysis of smart agriculture innovations, especially the use of digital technology in agriculture, accountability and management of agriculture extension services. Angela, we are grateful that you were able to participate with us in this UFAAS hackathon as part of the judges, on the team of judges. And we needed a judge, one of the panel of judges, to include somebody who is into climate smart agriculture, and that was Agaba. So Chase Agaba is currently a officer, climate scientist at the National Agricultural Research, Environment and Natural Resource Management from Makerere University, and several other climate change related trainings from Europe and Asia. His relatable accomplishments in line of related software include participated in the development and review of seasonal characteristics, and this application actually interprets and disseminates gaps and generates seasonal characteristics that are intended operations. Joyce participated developing integrated quality management system dedicated to greenhouse gas, energy, water, air quality for SCCA. Joyce, thank you for being with us and for bringing on board your expertise on the panel of judges on the climate smart agriculture technologies. Last but not least,
Last but not least, we had James. James is an agricultural economist. James is an agricultural economist and a member of UFAAS with vast experience in agricultural research, farm advisory services with emphasis on farmer-led, future-proof and financially sustainable climate smart advisory system. He has international biodiversity international and Agri-Terra. He particularly worked on a project funded by SNV that digitalized the dairy cooperatives in southwestern Uganda. James is a business advisor. James, thank you for sparing your time to be with us in this very important event. So that concludes our team of judges for this hackathon, and they were all take them on board with their expertise. And for the guidelines, for the people that qualified for submissions, I'll request Samuel to please take us through the guidelines, and then we can have our judge make her judgment. Share with us her feedback. Thank you.
Right, thank you, Adeline.
Please.
Just to take you through the guidelines for the qualified submissions. This is simply a reminder of one of the bases that we use that the judges use to make their remarks and reviews. So the projects were supposed to be submitted to the GitHub repository, which was shared with you earlier on. And then each team had to prepare a demonstration of a recorded pitch of not more than 5 minutes. And then all teams were encouraged to include basic documentation of how their system works, the applications works. Then all of them are supposed to be submitting their source code on GitHub. So next slide.
Samuel?
Yes, please. To meet the minimum criteria for qualified submissions, the judges passed their verdict depending on the 6 items which are listed on this slide. They critiqued submissions to define the technical simplicity. Then they scored the submissions based on the execution and documentation, and then relevance to stakeholders and society, degree of inclusiveness of the solution, sustainability of the solution, and lastly, the scalability of the solution. Remember that this is a mini hackathon. It is the national level hackathon, but we are focused on getting solutions which can be expanded to cater for Africa and beyond. So they also had to put that into mind, scalability on the number of users and the coverage of the solution. So the next slide, please. On the rules. So the rules as shared earlier on the hackathon website and in the previous communications, the participants have to be in a team of at least 2 members and not more than 5, and all have to be 18 years and above. Then they should be citizens of Uganda. They shouldn't employees of UFAAS or UFAAS were eligible to participate, but were not eligible for the cash prizes. Then submissions were supposed to be developed within October 4th and 7th. Then the participants were free to use any programming language of their choice, and they had to submit their projects on GitHub. Then this will be done after announcement of the winners. That cash prize winners will need to submit a form with their contact information and backing information form. So basically that marks the end. Let's hear from the judge. We shall continue from there. Let's hear from Judge Mary, Dr. Mary.
Good morning.
Good morning, Doctor.
I appreciate the fact that I've been given this opportunity to interact with our innovators, the future of Uganda, I normally call them. So I have a few comments, and I'm going to share the screen. Sorry, where is the file? Okay, let me share the entire screen so that, okay. I didn't put it in a presentation format. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to everyone who participated. Everyone did a good job, and it is worth noting that whatever the result is, you've done a good job, and it's just the beginning. So any other competition that comes, please take a shot. I'll try to go through quickly some of the things that we made, that I saw, and even other members saw. Other judges also made similar observations. I'll list according to the projects. Farm Soko, I tried to put in strengths and weaknesses. So every project has a strength, which is good enough, but then there's always room to add in something. Some things we may not have seen as judges, but then every now and then when you revisit your project, you might find something new to add. So don't hesitate improving on your project. So one of the strengths for Farm Soko is most farmers have it. So they're suggesting a USSD application. And the truth is, since we are looking at farmers, the majority of our farmers have feature phones. They don't have smartphones. So this project was good enough to suggest something that would cater for people with all types of phones. And that's a plus for you. Also, there's a list of number of options to enter when selecting options. It makes the usability perfect, because if someone doesn't need to memorize the commands. So thank you for adding that feature. It's also good to supplement the system with a smartphone application. They did supplement it because there's also need to enter information, and the USSD would not. So thank you for that. However, we noticed a few things. When people are getting advisories, you ask them for the pins. I thought that would make the whole process lengthy, and given the limited literacy levels of our farmers, when you meet farmers, you'll notice that they have challenges in entering some of these commands. So when you keep asking people for pins, I didn't think there was really information that was supposed to be secured. So this is something, if we are supporting our farmers and we don't need to hide it from some people, so no need for registration. So I thought a pin was not necessary. It would make the access of the system more lengthy. So the extension workers are the ones to change the status of the request. I thought that was not necessary. When you have ICT, you want the tools to work for you. So in that case, you'd expect that when something is serviced in the system, the status of the request can change to serviced and so on. So I thought there was no need for extension workers to go there. When a farmer makes a request, they select the advisory. And then at a given time, I started seeing extension service. So it seemed to move from advisory to extension service. And somehow, in regards to that, someone would be confused as to what they are dealing with. Under the services, we're seeing crops like cocoa, cassava, beans, and so on. So I thought that would confuse our farmers who will be making requests, because when someone says a service and then they have cocoa for you, it might confuse them. Instead of entering a sentence, at a given time, people are entering what their problem was, what they needed advice on. And looking at it, people would enter sentences. Of course, this applies to the same comment I gave earlier about people, the session timing out. We have all used USSD. If you type very slowly, the session is going to expire, and every session you start costs money. So it is important that we give people options to make it more user-friendly, so that they just select the options when they are looking out for, when they are feeding in their actual complaint. They can categorize it. These are just suggestions, things that you could look into if you want to improve on your applications, because this is just the beginning, and everyone hopes to get better and better. It will also, it will be a lot of work for extension workers to call back everyone. Imagine if we have an ICT tool, and everyone who posts probably in one day, if this application works in future, you could be looking at about 100 people who sending in requests. So, and this extension worker has to call these people. At a given time, they will not be able to handle the calls. So instead, an SMS response might be a good option. But these are just suggestions, so they are not things that you must take. When request is received by the extension worker, it's better to display the new requests in bold. So just like our emails, when we are looking at usability of our applications, you want something that needs urgent attention to be strikingly visible. So that's why when we log into our emails, Gmail made it possible for us to see the new ones by bolding them. So I noticed that even the new requests, the pending ones, they all had the same shades and colors. There was no order. So it is important to make this much more usable by putting what has been attended to below the list and filtering out the new incoming messages. So that is in terms of usability. After requesting, it's important the farmer receives the list of contacts of available extension workers. This feature was not there. So if these extension workers receive this list, it is able for the farmer to follow up just in case the extension workers have not been able to get back to them, and especially if it is a manual follow-up. But of course, as computer scientists, engineers, we know there are better, smarter ways of automating these systems by the system being able to match and do some machine learning and be able to respond to some of these problems without necessarily the extension workers calling back. Otherwise, we will be creating a big backlog of problems. So thank you very much for the good project, Farm Soko. Those are some of the weaknesses and strengths. Everyone has a strength. Because you sat down and innovated, you must have a strength. Farmer geographical directional services, directory services, the strengths, it's a good way to connect farmers with buyers at low cost. So they are trying to eliminate the brokers, and the brokers are a big problem, and everyone who has been in farming, they know. So anybody who has encountered a broker will notice that they hike the price like half, like they double these prices because they want to also have a cut. So your system also helps the person to optimize on transport resources, because with this map feature, you're able to see how many suppliers are in one region. So it is you help them optimize on transport so that someone can make decision on which areas to go because they can meet more farmers there. The system also enables one to quickly compare prices at a glance. So if you, instead of going here and there, just your map shows the entire Uganda, showing where to get the cheapest and which ones are quite high and so on. So this really made this project perfect. I loved it too. So the weaknesses I saw are 3, but it doesn't mean I've exhausted these. So you can continue, you could also identify more by yourselves every time you evaluate your projects. If one wants to know which area they are in, so as to understand which conditions exist in the area, it may not be possible. Because not all of us, most of the farmers are not actually, they are not geographers. They may not know which region they lie in, even the colors. So that could be added. Farmers with feature phones may not be able to submit their status. So it mainly supports those with smartphones. We can leave out people with feature phones, but in case there's any way we can support them, we could also think about it. Because you might find that they are the majority of our farmers, and even our farmers who don't have, smartphones, they may not be able to afford internet the entire time. So let's find a way to help some of our farmers not to be left behind. So this will be a supplement if you enable the application to show the best place to supply the required quantity based on the source location in regards to the cost saving and distance. So this could be a bit vague, but that sentence, but this is in terms of optimizing the decision so that the person who wants to buy is able to understand that the best place to go in this particular case, given the amount of produce I want to receive is XYZ based on project team. And then you have AgroAid. Sorry, my network is quite bad here. It is even informing me. AgroAid app, I forgot to put that advantage. Sorry, I didn't finish it. When someone picks a plant, I'm on the side of the challenge I saw. When someone picks a plant and the systems give them all the information available, it may be too much for them. So most of your application is giving information at a particular age. So this age, the cost at that age, and so on. So I thought when all the information, you provide pests and diseases, and so many people may not need to read everything, but they might be interested in specific things. So it is important that we add things to be with preference on something. Even if I say I want cocoa, I could go ahead to say, I'm interested in pests and diseases, so that I can exhaust that field and learn more other than looking at everything. So I thought this would be an addition to the project. Showing the farmer the price and age without considering the size of the product may be misleading to our farmers. We say, okay, in Kalere and Matoke, that is 1 month old, because this one may be misleading because it may still not be ready for that. So just something to consider and take home. So thank you very much, AgroAid app, for the good project. AutoFarm UG, it is a good system for automatic irrigation. That is the strength. And then here are two weaknesses. Missing the part of configurations for the optimal water levels, since different crops may need different parameters. So it is important that if you plan to further this project, you go ahead to put configuration, so that if someone say that the amount of water that is needed by rice is not the same grow to have a good production. So it is important for people to make sure they put configurations to cater for different crop varieties. So that was missing. Soil temperature and air temperature may not be the same. So it is important so that you measure also the soil temperature, because it affects crop growth and it is different from. So thank you very much, AutoFarm UG project. Smart crop calendar, it is a good architecture. It is a good architecture. I've noticed the following things that can be added. Real-time rains may not mean when to plant. I think this is a good, the current season is a good example of this. We expect rains in September, October, November, up to December, but you will notice that the rains are scanty. We can have rains once in a week, and within Kampala, there could be some few villages. So in this particular project, we are proposing that we show when to plant. And I'm saying, yes, it is a good idea, but it's not exhaustive. There may be a rain now, some rains now, but it may not mean that it is time to plant. As you can notice, there's need to integrate weather forecasts. Weather forecasts tell you about the near future, since it informs us about the future. And the second solution is forecasting, but it is too hard with limited time to forecast. It is a complicated solution. So in my view, I suggest that smart crop calendar can integrate weather forecasts in their system, so that they on top of telling real-time weather, they go ahead to tell when to plant based on a forecast. And UNIMA gives this, it is free of charge, it is provided. How data will be transmitted from the farm to the server is missing in the application. And I thought that was very important, because it could give us more information on sustainability and what cost implications exist. So this was not mentioned anywhere in the concept. So smart crop calendar, thank you, team, for that particular project. Second last project I'll speak about is developing smart innovation for research in agriculture. I basically didn't see much about this group. The intervention provided in the concept, no intervention. You tried to write something. I also didn't get the video. I don't know if there was one and I missed it, but I think you didn't submit. Same applies to EFAM. No video was submitted to assess the simplicity. So majorly that was it, but I again went ahead to see the code that you have submitted, and I would say that these were assessed on, the code was assessed on file organization of the code. You need to organize your code very well, because we are looking at open and open source in future. So even if it's not open source, you don't expect that you'll be the only one working on this code. So it is important that you organize your files very well. And then we also, under this section, we looked at quality of the concept, coding practices. Did you give the good variable names to your variables? Indenting, if you have an if statement, did you put an indent to show the statement lies under the if, and so on? Completeness of the code, and if README file, it is important in GitHub, on GitHub, that when you submit your files on GitHub, you enter the description of what your code does, so that whoever downloads it is able to get started and understand the basics of your code. However, none of you had a README file that had an explanation of your code, apart from the file names, apart from the project names. But README goes ahead to say the project does X, Y, and Z, and just basic guidelines. So FAMSOCO, I appreciated the way you were giving your variables. It was easy to follow. You would know that this one is naming a variable to hold the name of a person. So that was good. And you try also to explain what the system is about in the concept, in regards to the concept. However, the README did not explain anything about your project. And in some cases, you did not indent well the blocks, the if blocks, and so on. So you would find that the if is in indent level 2, and then the statement that lies under it is on level 1. So it was hard for it to be followed. The submitted code did not seem to match what was in the demo. So it is probably you submitted less files or something that was older than what you used to work with. So some files may not have been submitted on GitHub. So I could see lots of things in your system in the video, but then I could not match it up with the code that I was looking at. The problem is not defined in the concept. Now, as we are trying to market our products, we may not always be there to speak about them, but the documentation should speak about them. So try as much as possible to speak about your document in the documentation, so that when people read about it, they're able to call you and award you something without necessarily calling you to clarify on some things. So most of us had challenges with the with the documents, and I encourage that in the future, let's focus on improving our documentation. There was no database submitted, no references cited in the concept, and that happened to so many. It was just about one group that gave references. FGD, in terms of your code and documentation, you submitted sufficient code. Thank you for that. You added a database. The code was properly indented, very clean, good variable naming. MVC was properly used. You could see that the database designs were in the models, and then the views showed the interfaces and so on. The problem was well articulated in the concept. Thank you very much for these additions. So with these additions, it is easy for someone to gauge the quality of your project before they actually call you to demo it. So it is important to give sufficient information about your project. However, you did not give any description of your code in the what the system is about in the README file. Of course, no references cited. And Agro Aid app, good variable names. The README file did not have any content in it, any content to explain the project. The concept emphasizes gender. You kept speaking about gender, but the application does not match what you were, it doesn't serve anything to do with gender. So I found a mismatch there. Still no references cited. So when we say most women are having a challenge, we need to indicate where it was mentioned, because that is not in our vocab. We didn't come up with that, but someone else did. So we need to credit this person and show that they said it. Some parts of the code seem to be missing, so I could not locate most of it. AutoFarm UG, you had a well-written and clear concept, but you didn't have a README file to explain the code. And the other good thing about AutoFarm UG documentation and code, one file was submitted and it was organized well. You know, with AutoFarm, they had just one file. It is a short project, and that particular one file was able to provide all the code requirements. Yeah, thank you for that. Smart crop calendar, good concept. Submitted GitHub does not exist. So I got the link, but I was not able to receive, to see anything. It was showing 404 error. It didn't exist. And then developing smart innovation, you try to give a strong background of the problem. Actually, you gave one of the best backgrounds. However, you only submitted a zip file containing a database with a few tables submitted on GitHub. It's not clear what the team wants to do as an intervention. And lastly, eFarm, you have a good background, but no Git link that was visible. So those are some of the observations that were there. This is some from the judges, no code. We have something that is similar to this one. I've mentioned most of this, but in regards to AutoFarm UG, there's an addition here. The judge thinks you have a good technology. Yes, it is good, but however, it may not be affordable for a rural farmer. That is in terms of sustainability. The rest should seem to be some of the things that I've mentioned. And then we have also Butterscotch Farm Soko does not show it until it caters for illiterate farmers. Illiterate farmers have problems. So we expect that you can cater for local languages. And then e-farm solutions, does this only cater for farmers belonging to a cooperative? That was a question. Probably you could answer that during your free time. And then FGD does not show how real-time information will be collected and updated at the local level. Of course, we see a map, but we don't see how it gets there. No clear-cut connection between the problem, that is agro-aid, and that is still the same. The women themselves, we don't see how you provide a solution to them. And then AutoFarm UG, this is too expensive for smallholder farmers to afford. Each crop has its own crop water requirements, and each stage of philosophy of physiology. So the system seems to only notify when there is lack of moisture in the soil. Is there anything else that we can see that can cater for growth requirements? Smart crop calendar does not explain if information will be free and available in local languages. So you could think about that too. And then Uganda Cares team, the project lacks direction. I think this is something that all the judges were able to see for Uganda Cares. In future, that can be improved. You might be having a good project, but we need to first of all be able to identify the problem and show what solution we are bringing on board. Thank you very much, and I still appreciate UFAAS for giving me an opportunity to meet our current innovators, the future of technology. Back to you, Chair.
All right, thank you, Doctor, for that pretty elaborate review. And I'm so glad that you gave an overview for each and every submission. And I'm sure our participants have picked a lot from it. And yeah, there is much which has been learned from them. And we appreciate their participation. Let me hand over to Madame Adeline to take us to the next session.
Okay, thank you very much again, Doctor. This was very elaborate, and your team for a fair review of all that was submitted. We appreciate very much, and on behalf of UFAAS, we are greatly humbled at what has come out of this hackathon. And just to inform the contestants that this is not, as you heard from Doctor, it's still just the beginning for innovation to take over. You know, you are the future of the technology. So this should not even derail you hearing such things that you have to strengthen. Your same submission can be even given to another hackathon with improved, having worked on what they have identified, what the judges have identified, and for sure you will make it to even greater heights. We want to thank you again for your participation in this hackathon. This is the first ever hackathon UFAAS has launched and implemented. And maybe now just to share some of the results of what we have just shared. And this was the polling results. I don't know whether all of us have been able to poll. We have some results. Samuel, are you able to see the results of the polls?
Yes, I'm able to. So far,
can you please project them?
So far, we've had 12 participants. Okay, let me just share them shortly. So are you able to see this?
Yes.
Hello. So far,
It's
that's what we
coming.
have. From 12 responses, answering the question that have you ever participated in hackathon
But
before?
we are not seeing.
You can't see.
Excuse me, Samuel.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
We can't see. Let me share, maybe. Let me share. I don't know.
Okay, please do.
Are we able to see something?
Not yet.
Not yet. Let me. Any success?
Not yet, but let me just let me share my screenshot, kindly.
Okay. No, I think I'm able to share.
Okay, please go ahead.
It should be coming anytime. I don't know why it takes so long.
Sam, you can stop.
Maybe just
sharing.
share the screenshot. Okay, let me stop sharing.
No, I mean Sam.
Are we able to see now? Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Yeah. So please, you can explain.
Okay. This is quite straightforward. From the 12 people who have answered, 3 say that they have ever participated in hackathon, and 9 say that it was their first time to participate. Actually, we now have 13 responses, and 3 still say that they have participated in hackathon before, and only 11 say they hadn't. It's their first time. So, which means that a majority of the participants have been in hackathon for the first time during the agricultural, during the agri hack. Yes. So that
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Samuel. And you also had another link to share. Is it okay for you to share it?
That link is going to be shared within the Slack channel. It's for just a post survey. So please, when you see the link in the Slack and the email, please respond to it, and ask your fellow team members to respond. We shall be receiving responses until 3 p.m. today.
Okay, thank you very much. And then could you kindly proceed with the announcement?
Okay. Let me call upon my colleague George to take us through the pronouncement of the different winners. George?
Yes, Sam. Okay. Please wait shortly.
Fingers crossed.
as George comes on board, I would want to encourage some of us who are not yet members of UFAAS, or you have companies that are not yet members of UFAAS, please come and join Uganda Forum for Agriculture Advisory Services. This is an association where we have all the different actors in agriculture and extension services being offered to a wide range of clients. For example, you could be offering services to farmers, you could be offering services to academia, you could even be offering services to other value chain actors like processors, like markets. Please come and join this association. You will find there is already an ICT technical working group, which George chairs. And this would be very good for you because you are able to share some of your expertise, you're able to share some of the links. And actually, this is how even DOStream that took on this. This is also part of how DOStream now engages with us on facilitating this hackathon. And DOStream, thank you very much on behalf of UFAAS for accepting to facilitate this process.
Sam,
George, are you ready
please,
now?
Allow me to share.
Okay.
Yes, you're good to go, George.
Samuel, maybe in the chat, they're asking for the link from the chat.
Yes, we shall share it
That
after the session.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So this is George.
Put it in slideshow.
Oh.
Enable the slide just to show the full screen. George? Okay. All right, it's clear.
This is George. I'd like to thank all of you for taking part in the hackathon. Results are directly derived from what the judges gave. That is on the part of sustainability, you had 2 judges. Then on the part of social impact, you had 2 judges, and the part of technology, you had 2 judges.
George, you've muted yourself.
Oh, sorry. So for each category, we had a winner. We had 3 categories. That is in the first category, which is theme 1. We had FGD, Farm Graphical Directory Services, emerging the best. And then category 2, you had Agro 8. Category 3, you had
That's theme 3.
Theme 3, yeah.
Yes.
Smart crop calendar. Then the runners up, we had Farm Soko for category 1. In this, we consider only 2 the first and then the runners-up. So yeah, if we could not consider you for the award, given the fact that you missed out quite a number of things which were key to the competition. Well, because your project was on the part of social impact, certain things would make much sense. That's why you have a lot of marks on that. But then the core bit, which is the open source and provision of the code, most of the things were missing. Same applies to development of smart innovation for research in agriculture. You scored below, but also you didn't send in most of the things that had been required. So that's why you can see that, yes, much as you are, say, number 3 in team, in group 2, you do not qualify for an award. The initial setup was that if you are number 2, you had to qualify for an award. But if your score is below standards, given the fact that this has to build and contribute to the Continental Hackathon, if you give us nothing, we can't just say that you took part, therefore you must get an award. So want to thank you guys. And yeah, like Adeline mentioned, this is the first part of the UFAAS Extension Week. Definitely there is another part. This category was for mainly the hackathon, but we have also another category for CSA, Climate Smart Agriculture, where will be a little bit of funding here and there, and then we'll be communicating that to the teams that have participated. We hope that when the time reaches, some of you who have been missing a lot of items in your projects, you may have updated them, and you therefore can take part in the CSA, in the Climate Smart Agriculture competitions. So that will be communicated later on. Now I would like to hand over to Adeline to communicate date and how UFAAS intends to carry out the prize giving. I believe most likely they want it physical. Adeline, please, you can proceed.
Just to come in shortly, all the winners, as was mentioned earlier on, that all winners and the second runners up who qualify for the prizes definitely also qualify for the Continental Challenge. So this has been this was the national level competition, and all this all the winners have qualified for the Continental Challenge. So please keep working on your project so that probably you could represent Uganda well.
You mentioned also the second runners up. Yeah, so in each category we expect to have 2 teams. So that means, well, that's for the Continental. But under CSA, all projects that qualify for climate smart agriculture will have to be again considered under that. But for Continental, it's winner, then second runners up. So that means that for the case of theme 1, we have FGD and Farm Soko. And then for theme 2, we have Agro Aid and well, theme 2, that's where the challenge is. That the second one has not really given us much to really think of the project as worth. So yeah, we will have to sit and then see. All right, I think that's basically it. I can hand over to Adeline in regards to dates and moderation for the award.
Thank you very much, Dostream. A round of applause for facilitating this very eventful event, and also our team of judges. Really, this was great, and we appreciate each one of you for your time. I want to take this opportunity to congratulate our winners for the hackathon. And this is FGT team, AgroAid app, Smart Crop Calendar in those different themes. Congratulations. And also those who were able to be runners-up, FarmSoko, eFarm, which is not going to get a prize because of the issues that have been explained. We congratulate you all. Even those who participated and you put in your time, there's always a beginning. You may participate now, not be able to get any award, but the journey that you have started is very promising. And to you all contestants, we appreciate everything that you have really done. We thank you, and we know that even then, you will represent us very well at the continental level. And maybe for the other things that we needed to work on, that is the event and also the prize giving. As I earlier mentioned, this is our first ever event. It's going to be an event that is going to be hosted by the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industries and Fisheries, as well as the Africa Forum for Agriculture Advisory Services in partnership with UFAAS, which is the Uganda chapter for the Africa Forum for Agriculture Advisory Services. And that is UFAAS. UFAAS is basically Uganda Forum for Agriculture Advisory Services, and it is part of the country chapters. So in different countries, we are having different people participating. So that's why we are saying that the activity is not yet fully concluded. This was just national, and we are proceeding to the regional level with our contestants. So please work on those issues that have been highlighted, and then you will be able to participate in the continental award ceremony. But for the national award ceremony, we are going to recognize all contestants, whether you were one of the winners or not. We are going to give you a certificate of participation. Our judges are also going to be recognized on that day, and we are hoping to have the Minister for Agriculture at the end of this month. That's when we are going to do the award ceremony. So we are currently working with the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industries and Fisheries. We have already secured the venue, and we are also going to confirm the dates soon so that we share with you, and it has to be end of this month because we wanted it to be high profile. We have the press that is going to be there. So we are going to still keep in touch. We are going to communicate to you, and all the people that have participated, the contestants, the judges, really, we are going to have a very wonderful ceremony. We have already started on the organization, and you are going to be profiled in the newspaper, on the UFAAS website, and you never know, opportunities will come through you because you are at a different level compared to others. Again, I wish to congratulate you, all of you who have participated, and those who have won to go to the second level. Our best wishes to you. Please work on those projects so that when you are going to the next level, all those issues have been highlighted. Now, as we close this event of announcing the winner, I request that we keep in touch. We will let you know when the day is so that you are in it's going to be a physical meeting, even your certificate as well as for you. As we and Samuel, please take the photo so that we are able to announce the award winners. Thank
Adeline,
you very much.
just
Thank you
just,
all.
Adeline, just something small. For those who fall under CSA, you will later on receive a survey which will ask you about areas that you're handling, your project is targeting in CSA and so on, because we have another CSA activity within the month.
And also there will be a short survey which is going to be sent to you via email and Slack. So please also participate in it and ask your team members to also respond to it kindly. So let's enable our videos for the camera for the reviews. And we shall share the recordings as well as the judges' reviews, comments.
Thank you and congratulations.
Okay.
Samuel, please let us know when you've taken the photo.
All right, for George Morris, you said that what about those who only submitted their concept note but did not present and did submit their code due to time? Just to remind you that the hackathon is a time-bound event, so please next time you will be called upon to participate, and please try to work within the limited time. That's key in a hackathon. Thank you.
Hello, excuse me.
Yes, Kenneth.
So are we all going to receive the certificates of participation, even those who did not win the grants, like as of IFA?
Yes, please, you will. Plus other souvenirs.
Plus some souvenirs.
Yes. I can see Andrea is very happy.
Because of your time, we participated.
Okay, so
we are going to take this photo. Christine, your camera, please.
And George. Ivan.
So the certificate of participation will be got on the day of rewarding the winners. All right?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Looking forward to meeting you.
Me too. All right.
Yeah, thank you. It's going to be high level.
Have you taken the photo?
And it's going to be really very, it's going to be in Munyonyo Speak Resort. So please, and I think we will request 2 participants from each team. The modalities will be sharing with you. Press will be there, and different organizations are going to be represented as well. It's also one of the visibility issues. Though you didn't make it to the winning, your profile will also be there. So we keep in touch. Thank you.
All right.
Samuel, you've taken?
I've taken, and I should say goodbye to all the participants, and thank you so much for your participation. It was quite a good experience. We hope to be available for other events probably in the coming years, because this has to be a recurring event.
The Slack channel will remain open for most of the communication. Let's wait for UFAAS to find up.
Doctor, thank you very much for your time and for your wisdom. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye, bye, bye. Congratulations and thank you again. Thank you.